What is up, everybody? I'm NoLuxGiven here with your afternoon snap, and today first we're going to take a look at a little bite-sized snap. We've got Wakandan Embassy as the featured location for the day, so I thought it would be fun to play this Patriot list that also has Mr. Sinister and Brood to really take advantage of that +2, because all of the copies that you make also get that +2. Turn 2, our location is Sinister London. Not going to play anything in there just yet. We could play a Brood there and then we'd have, 3 energy for 12 power, but I'd rather use Sinister London later on to copy some things like Patriot and Mystique. And when I see that the third location is Asgard, I'm going to go ahead and snap and drop my Brood there. 12 power on turn 3 is a ton, and that's also going to, along with Magik, allow me to draw my entire deck. So I'll definitely be able to find Patriot this game. My opponent plays the Hood and a Carnage, so they've got a lot of power themselves, but there's no way that they're going to beat me in Asgard, which means that I'm going to just be able to draw through my whole deck. So my opponent is going to throw in the towel on that one. But I did think that this game still definitely showed the power of the Wakandan Embassy plus Brood duo. That is probably the thumbnail for this video, but I did play this deck for a few other games. Not every game featured the Wakandan Embassy, so we'll take a look at one of those other games now, just rocking with this kind of interesting Kazar Patriot list. I'm not super sure if I'm in love with it just yet, but I'm trying it out. I'm trying something a little bit new. Our first location for game number 2 is the Raft, which is a nice location to throw in Mr. Sinister and all of this token generation that we got going on. Location number 2, though, is Isle of Silence, which is not a good location to find with this deck. That could be a little bit tricky. That means we're going to have to throw Patriot into location number 3, which is Necrotia. And that one I am not looking super forward to throwing too many things in either. So for right now, I'm just going to go for Shocker in the Raft. I'm going to try to fill that up faster than my opponent, so that way we can get a free 6-cost card. My opponent playing a pretty similar deck with Mysterio and Wasp, though not actually playing either of those cards. Those are just also potential Patriot cards, but they're going to start to fill up the Raft themselves, and it's actually a very close Raft fight. As we fill it up this turn, we beat my opponent there, but they actually played a Jubilee, as we'll see in a second. So they're going to fill it up this turn, but we filled it up quicker and we filled it up better, as Jubilee is going to give my opponent an Odin, which doesn't really do anything. So maybe we're tied in the Raft if Mysterio is there, or maybe we're winning by a little bit. But either way, feeling pretty decent about this game. We're going to go ahead and snap, and then I'm going to throw down Magik into Isle of Silence. And now next turn, on turn 6, we can play Onslaught into Necrotia, and then if we draw Mystique, we've got the full combo, and we're going to be able to make a bunch of power. My opponent is going to do nothing on turn 5, which, to be honest, didn't even register in my head. I saw that they played nothing on turn 5, but because it's a 7-turn game, it didn't even click to me that they're probably going to drop an Infinite this turn. So we'll play the Onslaught. We do draw the Mystique, which is really good news, and then my opponent plays that Infinite there. So they've got a huge lead at Limbo, and we've kind of got an awkward play for Necrotia because we want to play Mystique there, and we got to figure out what else to do. And at first, my head was thinking that America Chavez would be worth more than the Squirrel Girl. But for those of you that don't know, if you play Onslaught and then you play Mystique, Mystique copies Onslaught, and that doesn't double or quadruple your ongoing abilities at the location. It actually octuples your ongoing abilities at that location times 8, which means that now Patriot is giving +16 to anything. So I haven't played this deck in a little bit, so it took me a second to remember that, but then I'm going to realize, wait a minute, Squirrel Girl will create a 17 power token, so I probably want to utilize that, and I'm thinking just throwing a Squirrel Girl into Necrotia could have been good enough. But 17 power plus 9 from America Chavez will actually flip Limbo. It would have worked, we would have won in this scenario either way, but I just thought that it was a more sneaky win condition to go for the win with this 17 power Squirrel in Limbo that my opponent probably wouldn't be expecting. So they throw the Hulk into Necrotia, that's going to win it for them, and the Raft were huge because we've got 2 tokens over there, 2 cards with no abilities there, so that is an easy victory for this little Patriot deck. That is going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I'm No Lex Given. Peace.